Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell announced the Senate will not meet as planned this week after 3 senators tested positive for the virus, but indicated that Republicans would still push to confirm Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court without delay. In a statement, he said, quote, "The Senate's floor schedule will not interrupt the thorough, fair, and historically supported confirmation process previously laid out." The announcement comes after 3 Republican senators, 2 of whom sit on the Judiciary Committee, tested positive for the coronavirus since Friday. Joining us now, Democratic member of the Judiciary Committee, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island. Senator, thank you for joining us. First of all, just is it physically possible for senators to show up and conduct this process with 3 with COVID and potentially more? I just want to know if CDC guidelines and actual safety is adhered to, is the process possible?
Well, if you adhere to the CDC guidelines, you can't have 2 senators in the room while they're in quarantine. And we don't know whether they've spread it already to colleagues. We do know that Republican senators have not been very good at following the protocols. We have 3 of the 5 eldest senators in the Senate in the room. And we have a rule that you can't vote yes on a nomination or a matter and be the dispositive vote remotely. You have to be in the room. So it really is going to put them to the test.
All right. And Jonathan Lemire, jump in right now. I know you've got some new reporting on President Trump potentially leaving the hospital, and then you can take it to the senator.
Thanks, Mika. That's right. Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, who we have mentioned quite a few times this morning, is telling reporters that they are optimistic, in his words, optimistic that President Trump will be discharged from the hospital today, that he would leave Walter Reed Medical Center and return to the White House at some point today. The timing is not certain, and certainly it's not, as the Chief of Staff did not guarantee that it would, but he said it's heading that direction, which is certainly contrary to what the medical advice we heard from the experts earlier on this show, but also the timeline that administration officials had laid out just a day or so ago. And it certainly is going to raise scrutiny as to whether his discharge might be indeed premature, and if the president is the one pushing and pressuring these doctors to let him go. Senator, let me ask you a little bit more, though, about this potential confirmation hearings. You said that you just outlined what the rules say now, but is it possible that Senate Majority Leader McConnell could change the rules to allow voting to happen differently? And if he proceeds apace here, what are some things that Democrats could do, who have certainly voiced objections to this entire process, to slow things down? I saw Senator Schumer was asking for everyone to be tested. Are there other measures that you, as Democrats, have to try to impede what's going on?
Well, there are sensible public safety measures that we should be demanding, irrespective of whether or not it slows things down or not. That is just part of running a responsible Senate. And we've got to be careful because, as you point out, Mitch McConnell is very eager to get this done. The powerful forces that fund the Republican Party, that have funded the process for getting these Supreme Court nominees on, they see this as a really kind of almost once-in-a-lifetime chance. And there's virtually nothing that Mitch McConnell won't do for them under their pressure to cram this nominee onto the Supreme Court. So I think the amount of guile and procedural mischief that McConnell will get up to is without limit. You have to understand the pressure behind this.
All right, Katty Kay, jump in.
Yeah, Senator, just to pick up on that, I mean, what you seem to be saying is that Mitch McConnell is going to make this happen, right? I mean, that he's not going to accept that this gets delayed. And actually, if you look at the time frame, I mean, I guess it could still go committee. And I know there's talk about having the 2 members who are infected perhaps watching from some kind of a gallery or participating from some kind of gallery, so they're separated from the others. He could actually technically get this through, couldn't he? I mean, and he's just not. Yeah, they could. He's not going to not get it through.
They could set up, ICU type tents in the committee room. There's, as I said, the pressure to get this done from the forces who've been orchestrating this for years now is absolutely immense, and they are going to be at grave it's just going to be really, really tough for anybody in the Republican Party to say no. Now, you do have Lindsey Graham in a fight for his life, and he may politically. He may decide he needs to campaign in South Carolina, but he'd rather win his election than go down at the ballot because he was in Washington and not home campaigning. There are a few things that could go awry a little bit, but never underestimate the pressure of those big donor interests that we reported on in the Senate that are behind this scheme.
All right, member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Sheldon Whitehouse, thank you very, very much. And coming up, a look at the role Walter Reed Medical Center has played in the illnesses of several former U.S. presidents. Historian Michael Beschloss joins us next. Morning Joe is back in just a moment.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.